you? We just had a little bit of technical difficulty behind the scenes there, so it's really good to be with you live. Hello, Karen. My friend Sharon is here. She's real. I know some people just think I just make her up because I say my friend Sharon so many times. In fact,
My friend Michelle.
I was actually, when I was editing the book, I was like looking at how many times I wrote my friend Sharon in the book.
So nice.
So we thought we'd come on live together today. Hi, David. Can see you in the chat too. It's good to see you here. I thought I'd invite Sharon in. We're going to have a bit of an update because I was just saying to Sharon, I feel like recently, like I've just gone into a tunnel of writing my book, which comes out on the 6th of August. It's called Your Art Matters. Very, very, very excited. As some of you know, this has been a long, long journey. So we're just coming up to the ends of editing it, doing the final bits, and it will be coming out. And it is all about you understanding why your art matters to yourself, to others, and having that deeper level of understanding so that you can find your voice, your purpose, and your people. That is the mission of the book. And so that comes out on the 6th of August, and it feels so crazy to say that out loud. And so I thought, because I've been kind of like head down for such a long time now, I'd bring Sharon in and we'd have a little hangout chat. We're going to talk about the event, which is the book launch. I'll give you a bit of an update on the book. And then we're going to have an update from Sharon and what she's been up to. So I know lots of you would love to hear what Sharon is up to. It's been a long time since we brought Sharon in and got an update. So I know it's exciting. See, look how many of you are here. It's so lovely to see you all. And Sam, I was with Sam a couple of weeks ago now in Leeds. We met in person, which was really lovely. And so let me know in the chat if you are coming to the event on the 6th of August, where Sharon and I will be at the event. It's our first ever big event like this. I did an in-person Best Year Yet event in January, and I just loved getting people in a room. And it's something that, I mean, how many times, even this morning, when we get together in person, and you know, it's just the conversation is different when you get together in person, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And we meet often, don't we? And we talk. Yeah. I was thinking about this, like we meet often and we do talk about why art matters. We don't sit down going, right, why does art matter to us? But we do talk about why it matters
on a real deep level. It's not surface, is it? Okay, deep, quick.
Yeah. And so, I'm going to give a quick update on the event to begin with for those that are coming so that you know what's happening, for those who maybe are thinking about buying a ticket because tickets come off sale soon. So I'm going to just give a quick update on the event, and then we'll go and have a little session and you can ask us questions if you're on live. So the event is on the 6th of August, 16th of August, sorry. The book comes out on the 6th. The event is on the 16th. So I'll just make that clear. And the 16th is actually my birthday too. That's why I've chosen that date to have the book launch, because it's a moment of like, wow, I can't believe I got this done. And I was thinking this year about how I wanted to spend my birthday. And I just thought, actually, this is a monumental year of getting the book done. I kind of want to just bring everyone together and just celebrate this. But also turn it into an event. So the evening is the celebration of the book coming out. But I wanted to turn it into an event so that it's not just about me and my birthday and the book. It's actually about you coming to this event, understanding why your art matters and being connected to others. And so the first part of the session, it starts at 10 a.m. It's in Shropshire, which is my home county and where Sharon lives too. It's in the most amazing location. You haven't been yet, have you? We need to go soon when I get back from Amsterdam. We need to go, don't we? We need to go. It's in a beautiful, beautiful part of Shropshire that's very rural. So there's a lovely drive. It's easy to get to. It's very close to the train station in Shrewsbury. For those that are travelling in, you would come into Shrewsbury train station. Those of you that are flying in, it's Birmingham International Airport that you'll fly into, and you can get a train direct from Shrewsbury to Shrewsbury, from Birmingham. And so some people are coming the evening before and staying. There's a local travel lodge and there's a local Premier Inn as well. There are just a few rooms left. I believe there's one double room left, and there is 1 or 2 family rooms left in the hotel where we're having the event. But if you can't get in to the hotel, then you can check into the Travel Lodge or the Premier Inn. The Travel Lodge is literally a 10-minute drive away, and taxis are really easy to get in that area. You can use a local taxi firm to get a taxi back to the hotel, to the Travel Lodge, if you're staying there. So the event starts at 10 a.m. On the Friday the 16th. And so we say get there a little bit earlier. There is a welcome pack. So once you sign up, you will have received your welcome pack. If you haven't received your welcome pack yet, we will send another one out, an email next week to everybody who signed up, just so that you've got that. So the welcome pack outlines everything that's happening, where you can stay, taxi numbers, all of that. So make sure you've got that welcome pack. And we suggest getting there a little bit earlier. So get there for kind of 9:30. We'll kick off the event at 10. I will start the event and we'll go through actions from the book together, all related to why your art matters to yourself, to others. We're going to go a bit deep into that topic, because I really feel, I'm going to just pause for a minute and talk about this, your art matters. It's funny because I share this in the book, that I thought I understood why art mattered to me, but recently I've been unraveling layers and layers, going, wow, this is deeper and more profound than I ever realized. And I think there's a lot of people struggling right now to be heard on social media, to understand where to put their artwork. And I've been teaching this for years now, and I truly believe that when you start to get into the deeper reasons of why your art matters and really understand it on a level of what your mission is and why you're drawn to it and why you're creating what you're creating and how that impacts other people, because it does. And if you can't see that, then you're missing the energy and the excitement to bring that to other people. And I was thinking about this morning, Sharon, when I remember years ago, when, not when you were first starting out, I think you kind of had established yourself. No, actually, it was, so when you were trying to get into 2020.
Yeah.
So Sharon is a ceramicist, for those who don't know, an amazing ceramicist artist. And years ago, starting out, was having exhibitions and fairs, weren't you? And it was a struggle, and you weren't making any sales, and you come back and go, I've made friends though. I've not made any sales, I've made friends. And there was a gallery that Sharon had really set her sights on getting into. You know, you really aspired to be in that gallery, and that was lovely. And you kept going, and you get rejected. Rejected. And I was thinking about it this morning, about, I'll never forget the day when Sharon came back. I'm going to get a bit emotional about this. When you came back from that gallery and you were like, you know, she gets it. And we had this moment, and we were both crying, and we were like, that was the point of, she understands why your art matters. You were really understanding why your art matters. And the years prior to you really delving into what you wanted to say through your artwork. And when it was like, then there was this synergy between you both, and I'll never forget you sharing that story of how, do you want to just share it?
Well, I remember it well. We talk about it often, and I remember that was obviously one of the pinnacles of my art career. And now 2020 is an online gallery now, and Mary, who runs the online gallery, she's now a really good friend. So when I was in that point, it's really hard to imagine that I was ever there in that point of having this big dream. I want to be an artist. I really want this. I want to say stuff, and it needs to be bigger. And I know that I need someone to support me in doing it, and someone who can maybe mentor, you know, and I recognize that 2020 Gallery was that person, or that was the place that I'd like to have been in at that point, because I could see that I would grow with them, and maybe I could give something to that gallery, or I could see my work in there. And that was really important. And for 3 years, hello, can you have my work, please? This was the, the email, that we talked about. Wrote the email, very professional, said, I'm an artist. I'd like to, put my work in a gallery if possible. This is my ideas and this is my work at the moment. Give some examples. I'd be available for a talk, or a little chat informally, your convenience and all of that stuff. 3 years, no. The third year, I said, if possible, is there any feedback? I know, your time is very precious, but I would really value some feedback. And Mary said, I just don't like your faces. I said, I just don't like them. If I don't like it, I can't sell it. And I thought that's a valid point. So that was quite an unusual, honest feedback for me, because I'd never had it. Just got people around me going, oh, it's lovely, you're amazing. I didn't need that. I just needed some honest, valuable feedback. So I thought, well, I'll re-look at my faces, and I thought, yeah, they are quite naive. Maybe I just need to go in and do a bit more practicing. So I practiced, looked at the, studied the skull, did a bit more work, and then felt like I was really ready. And then I went back a year later and said, how about this? And she said, yeah, sure, let's have a chat. So she got me into the gallery, and I was so nervous. She said, would you like to put your work out here? So I brought in paintings and sculptures. Would you like to put your work out here in this little gallery? And, this little space, I've made a bit of an area. Is that okay? And I said, yes. My breath is up here. Panic, fear. Anxiousness sets in, nervousness. And she said, so tell me about your work then. I'm like, I can't. I'm so nervous. She said, I'm going to go and get myself a coffee. I'm going to make you a tea or a coffee, and I'm going to come back in, decide on what you'd like to tell me, and then we'll have a chat. So she went and had it. She was ever so nice.
That's nice.
Really nice. She gave me the time. And just obviously confirming that was the gallery for me. And we then had a chat, and I thought, right, what do I want to do? And I remember you saying 3 things. Do 3 things.
Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
The why, what, when, or how, which way. And I did, and I had a chat with her, 2 hours of a conversation. We really dig deep. We dig deep. There was a big connection there.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of time for Mary and you, her husband. And it's been fantastic ever since. I've helped her curate shows in Sculpture in the Garden. She's had pop-up exhibitions that they've worked really hard for, because they feel very passionately about why art matters and creativity happens in the world. And supporting young people, or people who are at the beginning of their journey. Especially. That's it.
And I think we sometimes underestimate why our art matters. We really do. And even in writing this book, I thought I understood it, and then I've gone into it even deeper, and I'm like, wow, there's just so much. So this event is focused around that. So I want it to be a book launch, but I also want it to be a day where you step away from your day-to-day life, come into a room with us, and actually deeply connect with your art and why it matters and why you matter and how it relates and impacts other people. Because I want you to leave that event feeling like your art matters, and you want to be getting it out in the world and sharing it, and actually feel more confident in doing that. Because when you come from that passion, that deep connection for what you do, that's when people will pay attention. That's when you'll share stories about why it matters and people relate to it. And when you can start to learn that, the selling gets easier, the being noticed on social media gets easier. It really, I believe, comes from the people that you have around you, 100%, when you've got that art and you understand it. And then the next step is the people and the connection. And so that's what I'll be talking about in the first part of the event. And then I'm going to be handing over to Sharon, who's going to be doing... I'm going to hand you over to Sharon, who's going to be doing a past, present, future, and really helping you to kind of tune in to what is important. Like putting, what would you call it, your listening ears on.
Get your listening ears on.
And then we might have a little bit of art making. Don't want to spoiler alert. We might have a little bit of a session where we do some art making together. And then we've got Bonnie taking the stage, Bonnie Snowden, who is an artist and a friend of mine that I've only just met in the last 12 months, but we've become really good friends since we've met, because Bonnie is an amazing speaker. She's really super at mindset. She's managed to grow her art business. Some of you know Bonnie, and we did a podcast recently, but she's managed to kind of go from no experience, no qualifications in art, to building her empire now of drawing realistically and setting up an academy. And it's incredible. And what I love about Bonnie is that she'll just get her sights out on something and she'll go and do it. And so her talk is all about how to go from ordinary to extraordinary. And she's going to give you small steps, like small actions that you can take to get from thinking about being ordinary to extraordinary. So she's a really, really great motivational speaker. So that's the morning. And then we're going to break for afternoon tea, which is going to be so lovely. We're going to break for afternoon tea, and hopefully the weather will be nice, but we're in the UK, so we just don't know. If it's nice, we're going to have tables outside. We're overlooking a lake. It's just the most amazing place to be, to feel connected. And then during that time, you'll all get to know each other. We're going to be doing a lot, there'll be a lot of things where you can kind of interact with each other for sure, because we also want you to come away from this event meeting each other and building relationships with each other. Because I know and I'm actually going to Amsterdam this afternoon to meet up with Bonnie and a friend of mine too, that we all met on an event. So we all went to an event last year, and we all met there, and we have become really amazing accountability buddies and built really strong friendships. And again, I just think the more you get to know people, and especially in person context, it just deepens the relationships and the openness and the questions. And I was saying, when we meet, we just have this is random. Somebody sent me a picture yesterday. A picture, they picked a card out for me. These, what do you call the cards? What are they? They're kind of like
a seeker, or a inspiration of the day, or...
Yes. And she sent me a card, and it was an oak tree, and then sent me this description of this oak tree and how it means protection and the roots and all this. And then Sharon walks through the door and she was like, I want to talk to you. And then I want to talk to you about trees and what trees mean. And I was like, oh my God, this is so weird.
Maybe wearing green. I'm feeling like really drawn to green lately, and I'm not a fan of green usually.
But we're very in sync. And this is the thing, I just love it when there'll be someone that you meet at that event. It'll be no coincidence when you go to that event and you'll meet somebody there and you'll be friends for life. In fact, those who attended the Best Year Yet event in January, they're having their own table. They're coming back to the event. I can't wait to see you all again. And I know that some friendships have been formed there for life too. So we definitely want to encourage that at the event. We're going to be giving you some, within your comfort zones, but some tasks to help you connect with each other at the event too. So we'll have a lovely afternoon tea, grazing, and hopefully the sunshine will be nice. And then we'll come back to the room for a breakout session. So what we'll do is give you some conversation starters and questions from the morning session, and break you off into pairs, into groups, so that you can start to workshop on those thoughts from the morning together, because we want you to kind of take action on things at the event too. We want you to come away feeling amazing. And then we'll wrap the day up with a Q&A session with myself, Sharon and Bonnie, and you can submit a question, you can speak it, or you can put it into a little box. If you don't want to shout out your question in front of everybody, you can put a question in a box, and we'll answer any questions that you have in that final hour of the day. And then that's it, we part ways. And then you can come to the evening event if you want to. You've got an invitation to that. It will be with my friends, my family, to celebrate the book launch. That will be the party, and there will be music. We'll have a welcome drink, music, and then we will have a book signing, and also What was the other thing? Can't remember. My head's just gone. Oh, food. Food. You have food at that bit as well. So that's
Writing this down.
yeah. So you know what's going on. And Sharon will be there. Lottie will be there from the team. Andrew will be there from the team. Marita won't be able to come because she's in Australia, which is a shame. But anyway, Mel's going to be there. Yes, Sarah is going to be there. Janine is going to be there. Oh, it's so exciting. Sophie's going to be there. Oh, I can't wait to see you all. I can't wait to give you all a big hug. It's going to be brilliant. Okay, so let me just check the chat. And then Katrina's hoping to be there. Alexandra's tuning in from Holland. I'm coming to the UK in August. We have so many people who, so get this. Alexandra's going to be there from Holland, and we've got Jude, who is traveling from Australia, and she just happens to be in Shropshire at the time of the event. How crazy is that? So Jude is coming in from Australia and has managed to swing it. I mean, talk about that's meant to be. I mean, so Jude is meant to be there. Simone is flying in from the USA. Oh my goodness me. And then we've got Dodo's flying in as well from the Netherlands. We've got Laura flying in from Croatia. I think somebody else is flying in from Croatia as well. And we've got people traveling from the UK. So we just feel so honoured you are making such an effort to be with us. It honestly is the best feeling ever.
It really is, isn't it? It's so good. It's so good.
We can't wait to be with you all. Okay. Okay, so there was a thing here. It says, David said, I had an email about it, but Outlook warned me that the links might be dangerous. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I had an email from my bank and it warned me that it might be dangerous. And I'm like, no, it's the bank. And even I can't, even in my own app, it won't let me press it because it thinks it's dangerous. Like, no, it's real. I just think it's the overcautiousness at the moment of the world. So unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. But yes, you can actually mark the email as safe. So when you know that it's a unitedartspace.org email, if you mark it as safe, it will know that the links are safe in there too. Okay, let me just, let me just see. Oh, I know lots of you can't come and it's fine. I totally understand. If you want to come, by the way, there's a link above. Like I say, there's a few rooms left in the hotel, but you can stay locally. We're just going to leave tickets on sale for just a few more weeks, and then they come off sale because we need final numbers. So no, we're not going to offer a live version. And the reason is I've looked into it and apparently it's just way too stressful and it's very, very, very expensive. So to have the whole production done live and have somebody managing all of that, it honestly costs like thousands and thousands. And it's also another added stress on the day. And I kind of just want to be in the room with the people, not worrying about all the techie stuff as well. So I've decided not to do a live version of it. So I'm going to check through the comments. So I'll do a quick book update and then I'm going to move to Sharon and we can get an update from Sharon. So basically the book, oh my gosh, I tell you something. I was saying to Sharon, I feel like I didn't realize how much time editing took. So it's actually quite easy to write a book. You can just write it. You know, that bit isn't the hard bit. It's the editing of it. And we have now been editing this book for months. It's been, I mean, I don't know, I've lost track now, but it's been months and months and months that it's been edited. And I didn't realize there was like a phase of editing too. There's like the structural edit, which is the beginning edit where you're not looking at proofreading. And this is where I went wrong in the beginning when I started to write a book.
I'll write some notes on this too.
Yeah, because when I started to write it, I was consciously kind of thinking, oh, that doesn't sound right. I'll just move that word here. Oh, that doesn't sound right. So I was getting lost in the editing as I was writing. So I've really learned a lot about how when you write, you don't look at grammar, you don't look at spelling, you don't look at anything like that. You get into your zone. And as artists, you'll understand what I mean here, where when you're in your zone and you're in flow, it's like making art. You're not critically looking at, oh, does that nose match up to that elbow or whatever. You're just doing it. And that's what I learned about the book writing process. Is very similar to being an artist, in that when you can get into your flow and your zone, that's where the good stuff comes out. And so the first part of the book writing process is to leave all the other stuff, all the critical stuff, and just be in it and just write. And so then what happens is you've got a really crap first draft, got some great stuff in there that comes deep from your heart, but it's terribly written and it's all over the place. And so then comes the structural edit. So once you've got the bones of it, or the meat of it, maybe, so then you've got to kind of like figure out the structure. And so I've just been on this massive journey recently of editing, and so we just finished the structural. I thought the book would be finished by now, because I'm like, oh well, how hard can it be at this stage? And then I've sent it off to the editor. She's come back with her thoughts, pinpointed areas where I've kind of waffled on, surprise, parts that don't make sense, and it's just been really eye-opening. And then I've gone back and restructured it, take chapters out, merge chapters together. So there's a lot of shaping and molding, and now we're at the stage where we're looking at copy, which is line and sentences, and then we're going to the final bit, which is proofread, which I will not do. I won't touch that bit. That will not be me. And so that's where we're at the moment. So it's just gone back to the editor. But I was saying to Sharon, I feel like I'm so in the book when I'm editing it, and I'm taking all the feedback, and I've had test readers go through it and give their view, and I go into a tunnel because I'm an all or nothing person as well. And so I go deep and I'm in it, and I don't do any washing, and I don't do this. And then it stops, and then I pass it back over. And I was saying to Sharon, it's that point really that I just want to take a break. But I can't, because I've got to get back on with the kids, and I've got to do the washing, and I've got to pick up all the things that I haven't been doing because I've been writing and editing the book. So it's been a really, really full-on process, really intense process. But that's where we're at. It's gone off now. And then today I'm working on the book cover and all the things. So we are getting there. And it will be out on the 6th of August.
You worked so hard on this.
I know. But anyway, there's an update on the book. Let's get an update from Sharon. I can't wait to hear what's going on in Sharon's world.
I can't just talk about me. Just listening to you talk about your book. I want to just digest this first, please.
I just feel like
you've worked so hard.
Anyway, let's move on.
When we came in this morning, I'm like, I've learned this thing. I'm on this shamanic journey at the moment of this year-long thing that just started. And I've just learned that, where's my breath? And we did it. We went outside, didn't we? And we were like,
breathing.
Where's our breath? Let's breathe in and breathe out. That's what I feel like I need to do at the moment. I just feel like this. I maybe, the more I listen to my friends, in the art world, it feels like everybody is in this state of flux. This growth period where it's the time, I think, to just go for it. Whether it's through choice or through accident, I think whatever it is that you see and you need to do, I think you just have to go for it. And that's what you've been doing. And it's so good to see, Michelle.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. Do you know, sometimes what you've just said there really resonated with me this morning when you said that. Like, you said that you've been, was it painting or drawing trees?
I've just been drawing trees. I've just been like, oh, there's a tree, I like that tree. Oh, there's a tree, oh, I like that tree. Oh, look at that tree.
And I think when we get that urge, you have to do it and not question why. Sometimes we can live in a world today where we're caught up with, right, I have to become known for something. So I have to stick to what I'm known for, and I've got to share my social media. But then there's this calling, there's this urge to, like, I just had it the other day where I had to just paint. It just literally was like, oh, I've got to paint. Yeah. And it's about just letting that out without worrying about, will I sell it? Who'd be interested? What's this for? Where's it going? What's this? Sometimes it's just doing it.
That's a pure creativity, I think.
Yeah.
We're a human species, and the one thing that sets us apart this is my own words, I believe that we are creative. We are creative beings, and if we cannot or are not allowed to create or express, then we get all anxious and caught up in this, like, oh, I must do, kind of, this system that we're in. And I feel like, the more that's squeezed out of us in our society, the more I feel like I want to just go and draw a tree.
Yeah.
I just want to draw that tree. That would make me feel better. Ah, there you are, tree. Hello, what do you look like? And how are you today? I feel better, thank you very much. Thank you very much for letting me allow to touch your bar. And I get all a bit hippie. I love it. I love it so much.
Haven't we missed Sharon? Haven't we missed her? Haven't we missed her? Who's been hugging trees recently? I'm going to go to the chat really quickly. And so, oh, it's lovely to see you all. Honestly, I've missed you. So Katrina's saying, when do the tickets stop? It's on the 15th of July. We have to then hand final numbers to the hotel, and we've got to order things in and stuff like that. So we need final numbers by then, latest. Let me just see. Oh, it'll be Karen's birthday on that day. Lots of people shouting bingo. Phil says, I've really got to understand that more this week. When I got feedback from someone who had bought and received a piece, she said it gave her a great joy and deep breaths. Yes. And that's all part of understanding, isn't it? On why your art matters. There's a question here. What is it you feel now about your earlier work? Do you keep it and look at it again? Great question.
Great question. What is it you feel now about your earlier work? So I've kept, if there's a thing that changes or if there's a shift in my work, then I keep it. So that's a reminder of a shift of change, and then I can look back at that, and I keep it around my workshop, in my studio, at home, or in my environment, so I can look back and reflect on it. And some of the earlier work, I can see that there was a naivety about it, but that's where the beauty was too. It's not just about being accurate. So being accurate for me is not important, but I've got to have a basic understanding of anatomy and what's going on in the face, so I can play with it and explore it, and hit it and work with that within those boundaries and limitations. So my early work, the features were very, I knew then that I did not understand what was going on underneath the face.
Yeah.
And the proportions, but also I really liked the naivety of it, the honesty of the expression of the pieces that I made.
Yeah. But it's nice looking back, because it's a visual diary now, isn't it? And like you say, that you were that person then, and it still mattered, and now you've understood that. It's almost like you were learning the rules to break them. Yeah.
It's not just about this. That's just one thing. There's other things that I've learned about. So for me, it's a process, and I really, really am involved in the process. So let's keep it simple. 3 things. One is that I have an embodied physicality relationship with the clay. So I am wedging the clay, slamming it, I'm getting out of breath. I'm like, almost, having a bit of a workout, which is what we need, a warm-up almost. And that physicality helps my brain think about what is it that I want to make. So make space in my brain to do that. So that's one thing. And then when I'm in the work, so then I've got these ideas of what I'd like to make. So then I roll out the clay and then make the work. And as the work evolves, because I've got all of the expression and the physicality of the body moving, I've had a workout basically. And now I've got some quiet time in the brain. Then the quiet time in my brain has a bit of space to absorb the world around me, not just my own thoughts. And then that goes into flow state. Then I'm in the zone. I have no idea what happens then.
Yeah, so nice.
So it's really good. So I think, to answer the question, so that's 2 things. The third one is that now I'm much more aware of how to use glaze, and that's a process in clay, and ceramic fired sculpture, fired ceramic materials. So, practicing glaze techniques. And I did not know, when I look back on my earlier work, I didn't understand the glaze or the clay. but now I feel like I do. So there's, there's.
I love, and I like that, because going back to this topic of your art matters, it's almost like at that point you decided to work on those parts of your art making so that it mattered more to you, and that's the thing, isn't it? If you don't feel quite happy with your work, it's understanding what you need to learn and how to progress so that you do feel that sense of, okay, no, I understand the facial anatomy now, and I feel more. That would have given you some confidence in. I know that if I want to create a face in this way, I know I could do it that way. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's that confidence that it gives you, that I know what I'm doing.
There's a really interesting word there, confidence. You can't just get it, you have to gain it. And it's a slow grower.
I keep topping it up.
Slow grower.
And keep topping it up, because you can have confidence one minute, and then tomorrow someone's going to say something to you that's going to just knock it. And I always talk about that as a book. I talk about that in the book. I just feel like I'm trying to hold things in because it's all in the book, and I don't want to just sit here and.
It's a great book, by the way. I've read it. It's amazing.
I don't want to just come out.
I read it earlier.
It's having an art mentor to give you that feedback, something I long for, but equally, and that's what I talk about in the book, is how to find those people, in fact, who can mentor you. There's a question here from Sam. Hi Sam, did you have a mentor in the beginning, or was you just driven by pushing yourself to make contacts? How did you make that first step from being unknown to being recognized in the Gallery Pop Fest circle?
I didn't know that I was recognized until someone I can't say that out loud, actually, it's a secret. Got a secret coming out later on in the year. So someone said, oh yeah, you're going to be on.
Oh, it's so exciting, by the way. And I can't say it either.
I know, I'm really nervous.
Sharon can't keep secrets. I can, but Sharon can't.
I forgot what the question was now.
Right, so I'm going to go back. Okay, so let's don't leak the secret.
Don't leak the secret.
But so going back, so did you have a mentor? One at a time. Did you have a mentor when you first started out?
I became my own mentor because I was a teacher. I've had 15 years of teaching in college, so I've had lots of experience of teaching. So I thought, well, I've been teaching it for a while. Why can't I just treat myself as a student? So I did.
Yeah. And then the next question is, how did you make that first step from being unknown to being recognised? So, can I give my view on
I don't
it?
know
Because
if I'm recognised.
You are. So that's what I can see coming up there. So you are, but also I don't. So I think because I've been by Sharon's side going through this process, and so. There were a number of first steps, and I really do think I remember you saying to me some of the first steps were you kind of recognizing that ceiling.
Yes.
Do you remember you were putting a ceiling above your head?
That was a good one. Can I say that?
One. Yeah.
I'm
going to remind you there was the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then there was the actual kind of connection with these other people. That comes from understanding why your art matters. You took a lot of time to go back to your work, to develop it, to keep reaching out to people, even though they were saying no, and you'd listen to them, and you were so this is my recollection. Sharon had a big goal, and to be in a big sculpture place.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and that was like her North Star, and then she worked it backwards. So I love how I know you more than you know yourself.
I remember that one.
And Sharon had that North Star, and then was like, what do I need to have to get to that point? I've got a podcast coming out on this actually on Monday. And that then fed Sharon's fuel to go, right, I need to become professional. I need a website. And she started to look at other people and go, this is what I need to start doing. So does that jog your memory?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're amazing.
This is why we are one.
So the ceiling, you came into the pottery. So this was like 10 years ago, 8 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, was it?
I can't remember. We don't do times.
It was
It was a while ago. It was a few years ago.
It feels like a different
Probably
life
was 8
ago.
years ago, actually. It was 8 years this year, yeah.
You came into me and you said, Sharon, I've got this idea. Can I come and talk to you? Like, yeah, absolutely, coming in, and then do you want a coffee, blah, blah, blah. And you said, I've got this idea of going within the United Arts space from in-person to online. And I said, oh yeah, I know quite a few people who'd take that. She said, no, not locally. Global, darling, global. I'm like, oh yeah, global. there's a ceiling. We put a ceiling on ourselves of what we don't know. That was a massive catalyst for me. That was a huge thing, huge deal. Forgotten about that. Thanks. I'm going to put that somewhere. And then I wanted connection. I wanted connection. This is about finding my people. I wanted to connect with other people because I didn't really know anyone. I was a teacher,
it's important,
and I didn't know any artists.
Yeah.
So I went to pop fests, and I applied for a pop fest in the park, and I got in, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to go to a pop fest in the park because that sounds rubbish. And I haven't been out with Telford for a while. I'm a bit of a home bird.
Just making up reasons.
I don't really want to do it, so I'll probably cancel at last minute. Depends on how I feel. And then when I got there, I thought, I'll just put all this stuff out and not really giving it any thought. And then one of my absolute heroes, who I worship because she's amazing, was Nicola Theakston. And she was there, and she was putting her work out in the same exhibition as me. I'm like, oh shit, sorry. I thought, oh bugger.
Sorry, any children.
Sorry. I really thought that, but all the words, more words than those. And I said, I've been a fan of yours for ages. I did the fangirl thing. And she said, oh, are you exhibiting here? And I said, yeah, but I think my work looks terrible. And she said, oh, once I've finished here, I'll come and have a look at yours. And she said, oh, I can see that why you're here. So can I have some feedback? What do you think of my standard? I was really cheeky, and because hers was really slick, really, really, really slick.
Yeah.
And she said, well, if I would take all of this stuff, and just go for these bigger pieces. So I just did. I thought, right, I'm going to do that. I made all these boats and all sorts of things.
I remember you were putting all sorts
out. I didn't really see the wood for the trees. And she just said, take it all out if you feel it. So it's just, that's the gain of the confidence.
Yeah.
And so that's one. And I used Instagram for making connections with other artists who wanted to have a conversation about the importance of clay.
Yeah.
And why it matters for me. I mean, it's huge for me. Clay is huge.
And I think that's where you've gained, your traction is because you've got such a deep connection with what you do. I
think it's an ancient form of art.
Yeah.
That just everybody should make a pot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone just, And then there's another one. Last one was I wanted to be in Yorkshire Sculpture Park.
Yeah.
I want to be in Yorkshire Sculpture Park. That's my big vision. I'm never going to get there, but that's my big vision. I'm going to go with it because that's what Michelle says I should go for.
But it made you then question, what do I need to be? Do you have, didn't it?
And I don't think it's Yorkshire Sculpture Park or even anywhere. But I don't think I want to be anywhere, actually.
Not now, but it worked at that moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's why sometimes it's good. Yeah. And I talk about this in the podcast coming out about just having a bigger 10x goal, because it gets you to ask different questions of yourself.
Now I'm in a museum, I've got collections in museums.
It wasn't about getting there.
Private collections, but for me, it's about the importance of clay and making deep connections with people all over the globe.
Yeah.
Making change that I want to see.
Yeah. Great question. Yeah. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Clarifying as well.
I'm intrigued by the why, what. Yes, there'll be lots of this in the book. We also have our 7 keys course, which is the 7 keys of why, what, mindset, and all of those bits as well. But yes, the book will teach you a lot of what we're talking about in terms of how to find your voice, how to connect with it, how to understand your purpose as it relates to your art, as it relates to yourself, as it relates to others. The book is kind of, a lot of deep work, because that, for me, is the foundations. It's the foundations. When you nail that bit, all the other bits fall into place. And the book is very practical as well. Like, do this, now do this, and question this, and then teaching you how to take that and then find other people. And that is it in a nutshell. It's how to create your own art world. So, Elizabeth said this is absolutely amazing. We need more of this. Yeah. Well, to be honest, when the book is finished, my plan then is to relaunch the podcast with more conversations. So I'm going to start interviewing people as opposed to it just being me. So I've got a massive list of people that want to come on. And of course, Sharon is welcome anytime on the podcast. So yes, we will be doing more of that on the Your Art Matters podcast. I'm very excited to launch that again and do it in a different way. Okay, good to see you here. Yes, Bonnie is an amazing artist and speaker. She absolutely is. Yes. Totally, and every story has a mentor. I love that. Let me just see. A book signing on a throne with a pineapple crown is the truth. I was joking because when I went to go and see the venue, it's typically a wedding venue. And when I walked in to have a look around, they've got this big, massive throne that the bride and groom sit on. And I was like, oh, can I please sit on that when I do my book signing?
It's got to be done.
I know. And then we're going to set it up so you can all have selfies on it as well. And then we got the conversation going about, because there's a pineapple theme, if you don't know, around here. We like to have a bit of fun. We don't take things seriously around here. One year we had a pineapple theme, which was to prove the point of where your focus goes, energy flows. And we all focused on pineapples. And honestly, I don't know who was here that took part in that. We kept seeing pineapples everywhere, and in the most obscure places too. It was crazy. And people were sending me pictures from airports going, look, it's a pineapple, and on their walks going, look, it's a pineapple. It was so much fun. And so and then I ended up doing a video with a pineapple on my head for some weird reason, because I'm odd. So now I'm thinking, right, I need to get a pineapple on my head for the book signing.
Yeah.
That was so good.
I see that. That's the thing I like about this. It doesn't, when I went into being an artist, I have to be a very serious artist. It's very professional, very serious. But actually it doesn't. You can just have some fun with it. And remind yourself, where's your breath, and let it out and just be free of all the trappings of society and all the, the expectation.
Yeah. Oh, Lottie's coming too. Lottie's on our team, and Lottie's going to be there. And Katrina's just said, it's on the boiler, the guests can have a cold shower. I think she must have guests in the B&B and the boiler's gone. Okay, let me just see. Yeah, I think people are asking for the link to learn more about the event. It's in the comments above. You can go and check out if you want to join us on the 16th of August. We will have so much fun. We'd love you to come. Oh, thank you, Sophie. Sophie's going to be celebrating with us too. I'm so happy for you that you're finally launching this book. I feel like this has been quite a journey. Yeah. It's crazy. I'll fill you in when we actually launch it at the event. A tree poem. Do you have the tree poem,
no,
Nikki?
It's not poem.
Oh.
Quick, hide that comment.
My eyes to see me. That is hilarious. I would have just gone, the poem. What was? Yeah, obviously. Sharon saw it straight away.
I do know what you mean.
But the tree board, yeah. That's why Sharon saw that, because you are really into trees.
Oh yeah.
I like a tree.
I like a tree.
Yeah, that was so funny, Nikki.
Yeah, that's funny.
The tree poem. I thought you were saying that you have the same thing that I'd been sent. Oh, but no, you have tree porn. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that one.
A whole new book that I'd like to see if you've got that. There's a piece of art that needs to be made out of that one, I think.
I know. Oh, Lou. Oh, yes, you're coming too. Can't wait to buy my signed copy. It'd be lovely to meet you. Yeah, and for everyone to meet each other too. Like, that's what I'm really excited about. Like, lots of people who are in accountability groups as well inside the hub are going to be meeting for the first time. So that's really special. Nicola says, I just having my last chemo. Nicola, we are sending you so much love. So much love. Nicola came to our Best Year Yet event, and I don't think I can even share the story, and then got a diagnosis on the Monday afterwards.
We're with you.
And we are with you.
We are with you, Nicola.
She's put, it's nice to see you and concentrate on something else. Mwah. Lots of healing love. We hope you're okay, Nicola. Let me just see who else. Lots of talk now about trees too. Oh, so Janine says, as a child, I used to go to the park and sit in a big tree. It was my happy place when I was struggling with life. Yeah, there's something really lovely about a good tree. I remember actually when I left my old house,
Oh, you had
the
that beech
one
tree.
that
Oh,
was the
God, it
so
was
someone said to
gorgeous.
me, "What are you going to miss?"
Yeah.
And I went, the tree. Like that was the only
Yeah.
thing I was going to miss about the house. I had a beautiful.
It was
What type
beautiful.
of tree was
It
it? 'Cause I'm
was a beech tree.
not very good at knowing
It was
the
a beech
types of
tree. It
trees.
doesn't matter about the name though, does it? You just knew what
It was
that
a
tree was.
tree.
You
It
had a
was a
relationship
tree.
with it.
And I used to sit and just gaze at that tree. And every time I closed my curtains, the tree was there. And I was like, that's the only thing I'm going to miss. But then when I came to this house, what's that tree outside? Do you know what that one is? It's a massive, big, humongous tree.
It might be an oak, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
We need to have a look when we go outside.
Yeah,
So now I lie in my bed and I just look at the tree outside my window. So I've got a new tree. I've had to let the other tree go. It's about letting go. We talked about this earlier about shedding parts of yourself. That's the creative process, isn't it? You've got to shed parts of yourself and grow. And that's what you're talking about with that work that you had earlier in your life. It's part of you.
Yeah.
And I don't think, you know, I was thinking about this when I've been writing the book, when I've gone back over all my old artwork from the last 25 years, and it's a visual record. Like I used to be really critical of it and go, God, I can't believe I drew that stag, and you know, its head's too small for its body, and then I'd look at something else and criticize that. But now I've gone back looking at it like what you said, because I didn't understand that bit then. And I do now, but that was me in that moment, and it captures something really vulnerable and beautiful about yourself and raw, and
it's an honesty, isn't it?
It is
unfiltered honesty.
Yeah,
that goes into art.
It's like as a child, you know, as a child, I've got children, and I keep their drawings and I keep their little bits of writing that have got spelling mistakes, and their text is all massive and big and then small and wonky, because there's so much beauty in that, because they were learning and that was them before having learned. And the same is for our art, isn't it? To treasure that and recognize that, like a child is learning how to write.
Well, you know, there's some really great quotes from a lot of artists who've gone before, and it's about, you know, getting back to child. You know, if we can tap into that raw energy, maybe we're, you know, the more we go into our journey of creating art, maybe we lose that vulnerability, because that's actually where the strength is as well, and that's where the magic is too. And that's where the honesty, you know, when we make marks, you know, we talk about children making marks, you know, with just freedom and ease, that not overthinking it, they're just doing in that pure creation flow state. And then, and we see that as their parents, we see the beauty and the honesty and the vulnerability and that fun, you know, the freedom of expression in those marks. And, you know, there's lots of artists who want to get back to that. You know, get back to that child. You know,
without it's the unlearning. Unlearning.
So maybe, you know, the stuff that we're supposed to be doing, maybe that's not the actual creativity. Maybe it's just some tools that you need to put in your toolbox.
Oh, David's asking a great question. Is there an audio book? There isn't yet, but my plan is to launch the paperback, hardback, ebook first, and then I will record it over the summer, and I'll do a launch probably in November. So I'll launch the audio version at a separate time, because I've been told that's a good thing to do. So that's what I'm going to do. And also it just takes the pressure off of having to have that done now. So I will do an audio version that will come out in November. Yeah. Oh, I'm just laughing at all the comments because Kat says, yeah, I'll be doing the 7 Keys course again. It'll be running in September, so we're running it on the 1st of September. The workshops begin. The course starts a bit later in September, so that's our big annual course that we do every year, the 7 Keys. Yes, you'll be able to buy the book in New Zealand. You'll be able to buy it from anywhere in the world. It'll be on Amazon. And it'll be available in other places too. So yes, you'll be able to buy it wherever you are in the world. I feel like I'm just making up a story here.
It's your story that you've made.
It does not feel real. I just have to say when I'm saying this, and this is why whenever I launch something, usually it's done so differently. This is like nothing I've ever done before. So anyway, yes.
Amazing. It's amazing. It's so amazing.
Oh, Alexandra says, thank you so much for your insight. I had a meeting in Amsterdam this morning and come out to my car to listen and watch. Really glad I did. Heading home to have a play with Clay. Oh,
Yay.
yes, you're talking my language. I love Janine says, I'm just having a pineapple smoothie. I used to live on pineapple smoothies until I found out I've got this histamine intolerance and pineapple is a trigger. Can you believe it? Pineapple was on the list. I was like, no, I can't stay away from pineapples. That's just ridiculous. Serge says, I have a question. Is it Sergey or Serge? Sorry. I have a question that might not be at the right moment, but how to deal with fragility of the artistic soul that are often wounded and struggle to produce reliably. Oh my gosh. Can I just say your question has just hit me right in the heart. Right in the heart. So I'll speak on this and I'll let Sharon speak on it. So I just think for me, because throughout my whole life actually creating, there's been a fragility, and that's why I turn to making 100%. And actually in writing the book, I've had to revisit times of why I make. And I would say the last few months I've felt even more fragile because I've revisited, and I've shared that with you, haven't I? I was like, there's some things coming up and it's really reminding me of why. And so for me, I think recently it's just been acknowledging those moments of, feeling the wound. And just for me, it's just acknowledging that it's there and focusing on the output instead. So I acknowledge that I know this is coming from a painful place, but actually the creativity now is moving me towards like writing a book, and the art is about layers and about materials that overlap. And so it's almost like I know that this was the catalyst, but it's leading me to these beautiful places of curiosity around how these materials can work, because obviously that relates some way to that pain or that wound. And so I focus then on the process and the output of that. And I think as well, another thing that's really helped me recently has been doing some parts work. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, but parts work, I think it comes from, there's a Netflix series with Jonah Hill and his therapist called Phil Stutz. And they talk about parts in that series. It's really good. You should watch it. And so they talk about your shadow parts, the parts of yourself that were wounded, the parts of yourself that's trying to protect you. Like, don't put your work out there, because we don't want to go back there again when someone said horrible things about it. And I've been doing some parts work recently with a therapist and reading that book, and I've been literally kind of like, it's funny because my throat's going now because I'm talking about this. Just reassuring some parts of myself that are scared for me to put my book out into the world, for me to be seen, for me to share parts of my art, and just reassuring myself, like, when it's okay, it's safe to do this, it's safe. And so, yeah, I could go on and on and on. I'm going to hand over to Sharon.
I don't think I could say anything else other than what you've just said, actually, just to confirm that.
Yeah. It is hard.
Yeah.
When you
we hear you, I think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us do.
Yeah.
Parts of us are fragile. And I think, in a practical sense, how can you, as an artist, create work that is, you said, produce reliably. You can't rely on anything. Creation is a journey of expression. And maybe if there is a place where you need to express it in a safe way, maybe do it if you feel like you can. And if it's something that you don't feel like you can by yourself, I would suggest that you seek help, professional help, to help you express that in a safe way and in a safe environment with support, professionally. And there's many avenues to it. There's parts where there's therapies, there's journaling, there's hugging trees, there's tree hugging, there's pineapples, there's dancing. You've got to find, I think, your own way of creating that. And I don't think anything is reliable.
That's a good thing that you've pinpointed there, because that could be one of the challenges here, is that pressure to produce reliably. So that maybe that's the part of this you need to look at, is why do you need to produce reliably? What does that mean? And can you soften that? Can you take the pressure off that part of the question and embrace the other parts of the fragility and the wounds? And because that's what's making you now create this incredible art, and it contributes towards that. And but I just think the way you worded that question hit me right in the heart. I totally relate to that. Sending you big hugs. I hope the answer helped. And if anybody has any advice, please do put it into the comments below, so Sergey can go back and have a look. Okay, I'm going to whiz through and we're going to have to wrap up. Thadian's asking, is that the evening event? So the daytime event is from 10 till 5, and that is the Your Art Matters event, where myself, Sharon and Bonnie are speaking. We have afternoon tea. We do breakout sessions for everyone attending to help you start to go through the questions from the morning and why your art matters, and how to go from ordinary to extraordinary and have that connection to your art. Q&A session, and then we meet back for those who want to come to the evening event, which will be the celebration of the book coming out, and there'll be a party and music and food, and if I'm sure it'll be nice weather. I've never had a birthday yet where it's rained, so we'll have beautiful doors opening out to the gardens, and it's just going to be so nice. So that's the evening bit that's on from 7 till 11:30. And if you want to join us for the event, the link is above. The tickets are on sale for a few more weeks, and then we will close them down because we have to get final numbers. Oh, I love it. Andrew says, yeah. Oh, wow. Is this the tree? The Sharon. Tree. The Sharon. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I don't know. I'm really struggling to read.
Me. Hello. I'm real.
This is my friend Sharon.
I'm honoured to be your friend.
Oh, Nicola, we can't wait to see you. We've got such the biggest hug for you. Honestly, we've got the biggest hug. Oh, Marita's put the link in. Oh, Andrew says, I've only just found out about this. I don't check my email every hour. No, neither do I. Oh my gosh, Joe says, when I was living in the Middle East, there were just no trees. Oh my God, can you imagine that? No trees. It was strange, but there were other things in nature that were a different kind of beauty. Wow, I love that, Joe. Love that you had other things, but I can't imagine a place with no trees. Oh, it's so lovely to see you all. We're gonna have to wrap up now. I'm just gonna go. Emma said it's so lovely that you're so high and giddy.
It's well deserved. You're right. This is well deserved.
This is me containing myself as well. So yeah, there's a lot of goodiness. Oh, thank you, Thadian. Thank you so much. I really love the comments. I'm going to go back through and read them properly. Oh yes, and for Hub members, by the way, if you're a member of United Art Space, we are going to go live soon. We've got our Friday studio session, and we are launching at 11 a.m. today. We are launching our 24/7 virtual art studio that's going to be open all the time for people to make art in. Ooh. It launches today. I know. Ooh. It's exciting. So if you're a Hub member, go and check your email. We've sent you a new link to join today's session. And then also, if you go to Circle and check the events, you'll find the link there to join the studio session today. Oh, this is amazing. Who wants more of this? I want to do more of these. I really miss these sessions. As I've been kind of like in writing mode, I've got to say, I've really missed this part. This is why I run United Art Space. I love doing this. This is my jam. So yeah, we'll be back doing more lives like this very soon. I've just got to wrap up this book to get it out there in the world for the 6th of August, nearly over the finish line. So bear with me. And then, yeah, I can't wait to share it with you all. So those coming to the event, or if you're interested, the link is above. If you have any questions whatsoever about coming to the event, please email support@unitedartspace.org. We'd love to have you there. So let us know if you have any questions. And that's it. Take care. We'll see you all soon. Bye. Thank you.